their lives back. And I think that's what Australians want. We have that arrangement with them. Get yourself vaccinated, and we can ensure that Australia can go forward and not be held back by the strong controls we've had to live with, but they've got a use-by date on them.
So on that, this is the second Christmas we're going into when you promised that Australian families would be together. It seems like the Premier of Queensland and of Western Australia might have different plans.
Well, once you get to 80% of your population that's vaccinated, well, it's very clear. I can't see any reason why Australians should be kept from each other. And so that puts a heavy responsibility on those who would seek to prevent that from happening. Federal government can do what it can do. We've been getting people vaccinated. You know, by the middle of next month and perhaps earlier, we will have ensured there is enough vaccines that everybody who wanted to have it can have it. Now, it'll still keep rising over October and November. But you know, you get to that point. If you've chosen not to get vaccinated, that's your choice. That's fair enough. But should that choice hold back the rest of the country from going forward, engaging with those who are overseas, family members that are in India and other places who just want to come home?
So those people who aren't vaccinated, once we open up, you're on your own?
Well, once we get to 80%, and the fact is that everybody has had the chance to get vaccinated by that point, well, you know, we each have a personal responsibility for looking after our own health. And so it's important that we do move forward. We can't stay in second gear. We've got to get to top gear in living with the virus. And that's where we need to be. We've done remarkably well with our economy through the pandemic and saving people's lives, but we must go into the next chapter.
But if we're in any gear and we can't go across the border into Queensland to see our family, what's the point?
Well, I think that puts the big challenge on the premiers. I mean, they've had the power to do what they've been doing. They're not new powers, they've always had them. But there comes a time when you've got to honour the arrangement you've made with the Australian people, and that is once you get to 80% vaccination, it's very clear, then you can start opening up. It means it's not carte blanche. Of course there are sensible, common sense things we'll still need to do to live with the virus, just like people are here. There's not no controls. Of course there's common sense things that we'll do. There'll be the QR code logins and all that sort of stuff. Wearing masks perhaps occasionally in particular settings, but you know, comes a time when you just got to move on and get on with it.
So what's your message to Premiers Palaszczuk and to Premier McGowan? Is it just let people open up, open your borders and let families reunite?
Well, my message is more to Australians, that what I'd like them to have for Christmas is their lives back. And that's within the gift of governments. And that's a gift I'd like to see us give them.
अगर आपको मेरी वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो प्लीज़ लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए और सब्सक्राइब करना तो बिल्कुल मत भूलना। थैंक यू मेरे दोस्तों।